Hello friends, I made this for. My name is Lauren, and today we are doing another deck review. Today's deck is the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krans. So I've kind of talked about this deck in passing. Whenever I did the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, I did mention this deck. I will link the Wild Unknown deck at the end, my review of that one, at the end of this video. And so this has been on my radar as something to share with you guys, to just kind of give my thoughts and feelings about. Right off the bat, I am going to tell you this. It's too esoteric for me. No, not trying to yuck your yum. Remember, that's the truth here. I'm not trying to yuck nobody's yum here. But let's get into it. Before I do, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Down below there are some links to my things, my store, my Instaham, all that sort of cool stuff. I have Patreon, and we do like really fun stuff on Patreon where art is ritual, because creativity is a spiritual practice. When we use art and spiritual, I also have a podcast where I interview artists with spiritual practices. I am an artist myself. I read tarot. I love astrology, blah, blah, blah. Any whoozle. You're here for the review, so let's dive in. This is the box that it comes in. It's a really nice box. I will say that much like the Wild Unknown tarot deck, this archetype oracle deck is just packaged beautifully. I'm a big fan. Definitely what got me to want to buy it was how gorgeous it is. And look. Just look. Accept all, reject none. Love that vibe. And right up on the top is the book, which we use this to take it out, and every single card is in here with the illustration. It's broken down into the different groups, and let's do some light reading. For Mazzy, How to Turn on the Sky. That's really powerful. So the book, if we look at the table of contents, breaks it down into the selves, the places, the tools, the initiations, and that's it. Those are the four sections of this oracle deck. I believe, yes, that's 78 cards in all. It's really interesting. So, oh wait, there's more than that. Anyway, this is a confusing deck for me. When I saw this online, I said, this looks amazing. When I saw it in person, I saw someone had it, I was like, wow, this looks really great. This is such a beautiful deck, but I don't understand it. And you know what? That's okay. Not everyone has to. There's a lot of cat hair in here. So this is what the inside of the box looks like. We have some really pretty things. Lots of it's very eclectic. The art of this deck is more collagey, and it is a round deck. So for example, this is what the box is supposed to look like closed. You already know my beef with the book not fitting in this kind of thing. Of course, it doesn't really, in theory, it shouldn't need a book to explain. In my mind, this deck does need it. This deck needs it very, very much. So, which is my beef. But anyway, yeah, this is what the box looks like. Beautiful box. I love the diamond in here, the pearl in there. It's really a gorgeous deck. It's a gorgeous box. It's a gorgeous deck. So, let's look at it. This is what the back of the cards looks like, and actually I really love that. I love that this is very, the design is very interesting to me. I love that it feels intentionally pixelated. I don't know if you can catch it on the filming, but you see a lot of dots, and it's not even like pixelated. It's more of a style that reminds me of old printing. So it feels intentional. It's throughout all the cards. It feels like an intentional choice that was made, which it's always important. If you're going to do something, make it intentional. If you don't intend to do something, fix it. These are gorgeous cards. The cardstock feels really good. It's more of a satin finish rather than glossy or matte. It's very satin, which I really love. That to the hand feels really good. It's not too thin. It's not too thick. Of course, it is going to be pretty much impossible for you to shuffle like this all the time. It's not impossible. You just watched me do it, so I'm a liar. But it can be tricky. It's kind of one of those where it feels most comfortable to, let's see if I can zoom. This is going to be one of those that I have to just kind of fumble through it. To try, sometimes you got to just lay a bunch of cards on the floor and like shuffle them that way. That's not usually my go-to, but for a deck like this, 100% friendo, you don't have a choice, because not only is it round, it's big. It's big. It's big. It's a big deck. It's a very big deck. So let's pull some cards, shall we? So the archetypes are really interesting. They're really beautifully illustrated. It's an intense deck. There's a lot of cards. But I love how some of them are just really simple. And here's the thing. If you're really into intuitively reading, perhaps you could pull out this deck and just kind of come up with your own interpretations based on the imagery. I definitely think that's possible here. I definitely think it's possible to just pull out this deck and say, you know what? I know what I'm doing. I know what this means. I don't know if I would personally feel comfortable doing that. And I will say that I haven't. And that is a problem for me. Because I don't like looking at a book, but I feel like I have to with this. So, really beautiful imagery, very, very esoteric. And as you know, if you've been here before, if you haven't, hi, hello, welcome. We're starting off real strong today. This is something that I really find important, is being able to just drop in fully and read intuitively. But I feel like, and perhaps maybe it's just a me thing, but it feels like I can't necessarily do that with this deck all the time. Like, I probably could just really drop in and try my best, but there are some that are just really, really hard. And so I was actually using this deck for a while as my like daily go-to, a daily pull for like when I got on my mat doing some yoga. I would either pull before or after doing yoga. And, you know, it's not necessarily a bad deck. But this little baby reviewer will tell you this right now. I am like on the verge of giving this deck away. Because I just don't ever use it. And I used it for a hot second, and then I just don't. I just haven't recently. I haven't been doing it. And so it's kind of tough, yo. It's also one of those things where it's like, maybe I just have it in my collection. And I think I even said this about the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's one that I feel like is nice in my collection, but I almost feel called to give it away because I don't use it so much. And I find that really weird because, like, I love this art. There is nothing about this art itself that is like, I just don't like the art. No, I love the art. I think the art is gorgeous. These are beautiful cards. The illustrations are so pretty. But I don't know if it's just the energy of the creator that is kind of throwing me off. I just have a really hard time reading this or just sitting down with it. So, would I recommend that you get it? If you collect oracle decks and you really love a good esoteric oracle deck, don't stop, run, get this deck. If you are kind of semi into oracle, you mostly are a tarot person, I don't know if you're going to love this. I don't know if this is going to be an easy one for you to tap into and enjoy. So maybe don't do it. But then again, you know, who knows? I would recommend you follow your heart with this one because it's just tough. The illustrations are gorgeous. I actually really, oh wow. That's a banger. All right, so it's official. This is the greatest deck of all time. And just kidding. It's definitely really cute, and I like some of the tongue-in-cheekness about it, like that. The comic feels really funny. But yeah, this is tough. This is tough, guys. This is just one of those decks that it doesn't relate to me, and I don't think that's a deck problem. I think it's a me problem. But I would be really curious to know what you think. Do you have this deck? What do you think? Also, I will say what is interesting to me is it breaks down the cards in multitude of ways. One is some like key terms, the cave being the dark, the portal, the interior. That's in places. The self, the soul, the witness, the watcher. And when light, witnessing, accepting new aspects of self, when dark, disjointed, fatigued, diffused energy and purpose, and go deeper, watch Robert Bly read Rabin's poem, The Clay Jug. Rabir's poem, The Clay Jug. So it gives you some homework, and actually I really love that. It gives you something to kind of tap into outside of itself. Wow, this is funny. If this card is perplexing you, you are on the right track. It challenges us to expand our sense of identity beyond the little self and the ego resistant so much movement. There's a lot of information. It's a well thought out deck. It's not a bad deck. It's not a bad deck, guys. I don't think it is, but I don't like it. And that's why I feel like I would just like give it away rather than like donate it or something like that, because honestly, there's parts that I really like. The go deeper is always like a little bit of homework. Like for the mother, go deeper says, read Tao Te Ching, chapter 1, and imagine the mother of 10,000 things. I actually really think that's cool. I think that there's a lot to get out of there. There's just a lot. There's a lot to unpack here. And I think maybe that's because it asks a lot of you as the reader. There's like this whole section of follow the image. There, like, it just doesn't come naturally to me. It's not a bad deck. It even gives this before you begin, and I've never read that. So you know what? Maybe I'm a jerk. Maybe I'm an asshole. But it's just not the deck for me. So with that said, this is the most unhinged review I've ever done. Because I really just don't know what to say, yo. I just don't know what to say. The one I think ultimately this is a great deck for the right person. I have friends that use this deck and they love it. It's just, I don't know, maybe I need to give it a second try, maybe dig into it again. I'd be so curious to know what you think. Have you used it? Have you had this problem with Kim Krans? I feel like everything she makes is beautiful and I don't resonate with it, which is very, very weird. Because again, it's gorgeous work. It's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful deck. It has all the trappings of a really successful piece, but ultimately, that ain't for me, fam. So I hope you found this helpful or just really, really unhinged. Any hoozle, that's all I have to say about it. If you want to connect with me more, like I said, links are down below and my link tree, along with my store, my website, all of those good things. But on that note, I will leave you to it, friends. Make sure to drink lots of water. Check out these videos popping up around me, including the Wild Unknown Tarot, which should be somewhere in the ether coming up right now. With that said, I love you so much. Bye-bye.